So there I was, stuck between a palm wine-powered fiancée and her father, the most powerful man in the village. My escape route was a dusty footprint on the floor. All I could think was, this is how I die? Over jollof rice and a misunderstood dance? Chief Okonkwo didn't just walk. The earth parted for him. He looked at my hand, still locked in Amara's grip. He looked at my face, slick with fierce sweat. Then he sat, and the entire chop bar released a breath they had been holding for a full minute. So, you are the Lagos boy that has captured my daughter's lioness heart. My mouth was drier than the Sahara. I tried to speak. A squeak came out. Amara beamed. Yes, daddy. See, he's speechless with joy. The chief leaned forward. We will talk tonight. At my compound. Bring your father. And just like that, he stood and left. The verdict was delayed, but the trial was set. That evening was the longest of my life. My poor father, a retired teacher, was muttering about ancestral rot. My mother, caught between terror and a strange pride. At least she's from a good family. I was drafting mental speeches. We arrived at Chief's compound. It wasn't only a house, it was more like a kingdom. And at the center, under a giant mango tree, sat Chief Okonkwo, flanked by elders. This was beyond a mere chat. This was a full tribal council, and I was the defendant. For a full hour, they talked about me. Not to me, my lineage, my job in Lagos, my prospects. Amara sat behind her father, quieter than I have ever seen her, her eyes hopeful. And that's when I felt a second twist, a pang of something, not love, but responsibility. This vibrant, chaotic woman had staked her pride on me in front of everyone. My daughter says you are intelligent and kind. She says you have a Lagos spark, but a village heart. Is that true, young man? In that moment, I made a choice. No more panic, just truth. Sir, I said, my voice finally steady. Your daughter is the most unforgettable person I have ever met. She is full of life, but you see, we come from different worlds. This whole engagement, it's a beautiful misunderstanding. I would not wish to force her into a life or a city that wouldn't make her shine. The chief's expression at this point was unreadable. He stood up and my heart plunged. This was it, the banishment. And then he started to laugh, a deep rumbling laugh that shook his shoulders. Unforgettable, Chief said. That is the perfect word. Lagos boy, sit down. You have passed the first test. Test? What test? Chief smiled. Did you think I, a chief, would let my only daughter marry a foolish city boy who only cared for himself? I needed to see your character. Would you be kind to her loudness? Would you respect our traditions, even in your fear? You tried to run, but you came back. You spoke the truth, not sweet lies. He clapped his hands and Amaka's mother emerged, holding a photo album. Chief opened it. My Amara, he said, his voice softening. She is a lawyer in Port Harcourt. A lawyer? The album showed Amara in sleek suits, in court robes, giving speeches. The dramatic palm wine chugging village rose was a corporate litigator. The chief explained, she comes home to be free, to shed the suit and be her true loud dancing self. She wanted a man who would love the village girl, not the city lawyer. And this whole blind date thing was her idea. It hit my chest very hard, but in a somewhat sweet way, to realize that the entire date was a performance, a test she designed. The loud chewing, exaggerated. The over-the-top dancing, a deliberate act. She was testing my patience, my tolerance, my ability to handle chaos without being cruel. And I, this smug Lagosian, had failed to see I was the one being appraised. I was stunned, humbled, and honestly impressed. This was the plot twist of the century. The chief's final word sealed it. You have shown respect. The choice is now yours. But know this, the woman who terrified you over palm wine had won cases that terrified powerful men. Look at Amara. Truly look. You see the intelligence blazing in her eyes, the strength behind the drama. The chaos had a method, the comedy had a point, and in that moment, something flipped. The fear evaporated, and all I saw was this brilliant, fearless, utterly original woman who had the guts to orchestrate the most dangerous, hilarious, and insightful first date in history. I started to laugh, then started to admire, and then I knew I had begun to feel something. I turned to Amara. So, all that drama, the chewing, the dancing, what for exactly? And she replied, smirking in her normal, confident voice. Had to see if you were a snub, Mr. Lagos. You passed. Barely. I took a deep breath, turned to the chief and my stunned parents. Sir, with your permission, I would like to take your daughter on a real first date. No tests, just us. The chief nods, a genuine smile on his face. Amara's confident smirk softens into a real beautiful smile. Now this was 2 years ago. Our first real date was at a quiet restaurant. She ordered a salad and ate it silently, elegantly, while we talked for hours about law, Lagos life, and she laughed at my jokes. I learned to love both versions of her, the fierce Port Harcourt lawyer and the vibrant village dancing queen. And yes, by the way, she still drinks palm wine like a champion. 6 months later, I proposed on my terms and she said yes on hers. So that's the story of how my worst first date became the best decision of my life. It taught me that sometimes the most beautiful connections come wrapped in chaos, and that the right person isn't necessarily the one who fits perfectly into your fantasy, but the one who writes the entire story with you. And for those wondering, she still chews loudly sometimes, but now I find it unforgettable. If you enjoyed this story, please give it a like and subscribe to this channel now to get more mind-blowing stories like this. And I will see you in the next big story on Storyverse.